welcome to the foodie. If you're wondering what I'm doing so far away from land and out at sea, well, it's that time of the year where everybody takes a bit of a holiday, a bit of a getaway, where you get away and think about what you've done for the whole year and think about what you're going to do for the next. Well, on the foodie, we're coming to the end of this glorious journey, and I thought it would be a great idea to spend this episode reminiscing about the great people we've met, the great food we've eaten. Let me tell you one more thing. Well, it's the last episode of the year. You think you're going to get rid of me so fast? Impossible. So come with me. It's a ride you won't forget. This year, thanks to the foodie, I have lived out of a suitcase. From Delhi to Kolkata, Bangalore to Kerala, Udupi to Goa. We've covered lots of interesting food and lots of interesting people. People who I cooked with and who shared the same passion for food. So I will flag off this episode with some of my most interesting cooking moments. So on top of the list, well, why don't we let the visuals do the talking, eh? Me with two of the most gorgeous girls I've ever met before. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Two gorgeous women under one roof with me. Three's company, and this was some company. Where's your salt?
My salt?
Yes, she doesn't know where the salt is. I cannot believe there's no salt in this house.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, it's all right. It is very rarely that I get distracted from my primary purpose, food. But in this case, you can hardly blame me for not concentrating enough on the cooking. So, I ended up overcooking. Okay, well, fine. I ended up burning the special omelette that I was making to impress these two beautiful women. So why are you not eating the omelette?
You burned it.
Well, then all's well that ends well. Burnt or not burnt, I got what I rightfully deserved after a hard day's labor. Ah, lovely! Well. I must say that must have been one of the best cooking sessions, not only in the whole year, that I've ever had. And for obvious reasons, hey? Well, let's get serious. One of the actual best cooking sessions I had was in a village in Karnataka by the riverside. Something I've always wanted to do. Have a look. This was an experience to die for. I loved the idea of spending a day in a village, and then the rest just fell into place. Catching fresh fish by the river, cooking it in the open with a live audience from the village, and finally, making sure they ate what I cooked. Only curry. Nobody wants to eat my fish. Nobody wants to eat my fish. Uncle, approve?
Yeah, approved. Very good and tasty food.
Rocking. Talking about fish, the one place that I gorged on great seafood was Kerala. Kerala lived up to its promise of God's own country. In fact, we should just rename it the foodie's own country. Everything was perfect. The place, the people, and more importantly, the food. I had some of the best food in Kerala, and one of our most interesting cooking experiences was in Fort Kochi next to the huge Chinese fishing nets. These gigantic nets get in the catch of the day, and then you can catch them freshly cooked at the marketplace on the shore. This is where the fish comes once it's bought, in a very crowded fish market which is selling lovely fresh fish. Oh my God, look at him. Look at him. What is this?
Kingfish.
Kingfish, big kingfish this is.
Yeah.
But it's too big for me. I can't finish.
Small one. Which one big one?
No, I want prawn. Okay, uncle, how much?
How much? 500.
No, uncle, come on.
Very cheap rate.
Very cheap?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trusting you, eh?
Yeah. Hello, my friend. You like some seafoods? You buy fish and cooking there.
I bought fish, you cook for me?
Cook for me.
That sort of redefines the concept of fresh food, doesn't it? Oh my God. I wish I had a net or a fishing rod so that I could catch fresh fish from the sea right now, this very moment, and cook it up for myself. But no, I'm on a break. And so all we're doing now is reminiscing about the great times we've had on the foodie. Well, we've had some great times. We've met some great people. People who are not only crazy about food as well. Come along, meet these people. My fingers are touching your fingers.
If you give this, it adds a little bit of more taste. And when it adds a little bit of more taste, so you'll come often at my place and have this.
Kunal, what are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to get the recipe out of this book.
You're cheating, huh?
Yes.
They'll also...
No, don't do that. Never do that.
sorry.
You must never chuck things into the cheese. Kunal.
Sorry. Well, those were some of the interesting people I met. Before we go into a break, I want to end this segment with some of my disastrous moments. Okay, slowly I have to do it, okay? I give up. I'm not very good at this. Okay, this is called cheating. He half made the laddu. I attempted, I failed.
You're going to be faster than that. My lobsters are going to get cooked out.
Oh God. Not only have I made a disastrous one, I've also got smoke in my eyes at this point. Look at this. I'm a shame to society. मैंने बनाई है इसलिए आप डालो सेकने को इसको देखते हैं मैं खाऊंगा और किसी को मत खिलाना है यार हाँ ये रुमाली रोटी नहीं चड्डी रोटी हो गई मेरी हैं Let me just quietly walk away from this disaster that I have made. Disastrous. Well, actually I'm not that bad a cook, okay? I just need the right atmosphere, the right ambience and the right inspiration. Well, we'll go into a break right now. Coming back, lots of more memories from another era. Speaking of the great times, let's have a look at unusual food. Well, sometimes the food is unusual because of the way it tastes. Sometimes it's unusual because of the way it's cooked. And sometimes it's unusual only because of the way it looks. Hello and welcome back from the break. Well, I'm actually yet on my annual break and we are reminiscing about the great times we've had in the foodie. Speaking of the great times, let's have a look at unusual food. Well, sometimes the food is unusual because of the way it tastes, sometimes it's unusual because of the way it's cooked, and sometimes it's unusual only because of the way it looks. Come and have a look at some unusual food. The land of the sun, the land of the sand, and the land of great food, without which we wouldn't have too much use for the sand and sun. A foodie's paradise in every sense of the word. And of all the food that I came across, what I found rather interesting was something called the bacalhau.
Faithful friend of Portuguese.
Faithful friend of Portuguese.
Okay?
Bacalhau is a salted codfish that is a Portuguese speciality. The entire fish is salted, dried and refrigerated, and yes, it's very smelly. Not too sure I like the sight of it, but I'm told it's quite a delicacy. Before cooking, the bacalhau needs to be desalted by soaking it in water overnight. And then, with the use of minimal ingredients, the fish is baked with lots of olive oil. Well, eating bacalhau is sure an acquired taste and may not be up everybody's palate. Well, honestly, it wasn't up my palate either. While in Goa, I also had my first taste of chili chocolate. Yep, you heard it right. It's actually chili in chocolate. And though initially I didn't feel it, the spice hit me hard as the chocolate slowly melted in my mouth. Well, taste of chocolate. Can't taste the chili yet. Oh, yeah.
At the end, you get it.
Chili chocolate. What next? Pickled chocolate. If you think chili chocolate is strange, what would you think if I said chicken with chocolate, eh? All I think of when you say chocolate is a mass of gooey substance giving me a high. Oh, I love chocolates. But when one of the chefs I met introduced me to chicken in chocolate, I wasn't too sure I wanted to try that. The chef prepared a sauce made with blue cheese, cream and mushrooms with a dash of chocolate flakes and poured it on top of grilled chicken resting on a bed of chocolate pasta. Yes, you heard right, chocolate pasta. And if that wasn't enough, he poured a good helping of chocolate sauce over it as the final touch. By the way, if you think chicken with chocolate is a sort of culinary misadventure, actually, it wasn't so bad after all. Very nice. The chocolate is there, but it's not interfering, it's just enhancing the taste. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. I think we've had enough of chocolate. I'm going to actually sail away to Hyderabad. Ooh. In a manner of speaking, of course, when you think of Hyderabad, the first thing that comes to your mind is biryani. And yes, we did eat a lot of biryani in Hyderabad. But the one dish, the one speciality of Hyderabad that sticks to my mind is Patthar Ka Gosht. Patthar Ka Gosht literally translated as mutton on stone. Hyderabad, here I come. Hyderabad is a great place to savor non-vegetarian food, and my hunt for good food took me to the ITC Kakatiya in Hyderabad. Here, I was introduced to the ancient cuisine of the Mughals, Patthar Ka Gosht. As the name would indicate, the main thing used for this preparation is a special stone that is heated on charcoal, something I have never seen before. The preparation was also unusual. A small piece of flaming hot charcoal was placed in the bowl containing marinated mutton slices, and the mouth was sealed to the flavor of the burning coal completely enveloped the mutton pieces. Quite a fascinating process, I say. And then the pieces were fried on the hot stone. And as much as I enjoyed watching the process, I actually had a better time eating it. Meat, meat and more meat. The one place where we had literally a meat feast was Kerala. I know, I'm going back to Kerala again, but what can I do? It was one of the best experiences I had, the best food I ever ate. Yes, Kerala. And we went to this great place in Cochin called Gopura Gramina Hotel. And let me tell you, before they serve the meal, they first serve you with a glass of warm medicinal water. Well, most places in Kerala, most restaurants in Kerala that is, serve you warm water. Apparently, it sort of cleanses the system. According to me, it actually prepares you for a big, hot, meaty feast. They served us with meat puttu, which is minced meat layered with rice and cooked in a coconut shell. a full and complete meal by itself. Unusual combination of rice powder and mince keema. And my fingers are now cooked as well. We're going to go into a break, but before we do that, let's go straight to Calcutta and visit the coffee house. The coffee house is a really old traditional part of Calcutta culture where people sit, chat, talk and argue. This whole culture is called the Adda, and they sit over there and have coffee. Well, the coffee and the food is fine, it's nothing special, but the treatment they gave me was rather special. I'm looking for a waiter. Apparently it's very difficult to find one. Order karna hai. Having said that, he's gone away. Hopefully he'll come in the next hour or so. Order kar sakta hai? Second waiter. I'm still trying. Order. Third waiter. This is the first waiter again, huh? Let's try. Finally, I think he's come. Boss, एक coffee और एक toast butter और एक सिंगाड़ा. Well, now that I've earned my coffee after a long and hard struggle, let's take a break. We've traveled a lot on the foodie, and I've also learned a lot of lessons. I made a few points in my diary. Have a look at them. Hello, welcome back from the break. I must say we've traveled a lot on the foodie, and I've also learned a lot of lessons. One of the main lessons I've learned is how to stay completely out of shape. The other lesson I've learned is how to eat a full meal and then still remain hungry. Well, jokes apart, the one episode that really taught me a lot, lessons for life actually, was our health food episode. I made a few points in my diary. Have a look at them. What about potatoes being extremely fattening and bad for health?
Yeah. When we think of a potato, we think of a potato chip.
Yes.
We think of fried potatoes.
Wafers.
Exactly. So it's the oil.
So the potato by itself is so if I eat boiled potato, mashed potato without cream and butter, it'll be good.
Exactly. You think of it, you've eaten a salad, then you've eaten 2 boiled potatoes with little chaat masala or like a green chutney or a baked potato, just like that. How many slices of pizza will you eat after that?
Not many actually. It stuffs you, that's
Yes. So it fills you up, it's a starch and starches are not bad for health.
The first thing you do when you get onto the table is your napkin. Okay. You have to fold it in half, ideally, and place it on your lap, half. Right? You have to use your napkin in the middle of the meal very daintily. Wipe here and here. No going across like that.
So I don't do this.
Okay. Very nice.
No.
Elbows off the table, please.
Yeah, no sitting like this.
Not like that.
And no eating like this.
And no eating like this, absolutely. Food always comes up to you. You don't go down to the food. So if you're having your soup, it's not like this. It brings up.
So
right.
you don't do this.
No. Okay, when you're in the middle of the meal, your fork and knife will be placed like this, which indicates that you haven't finished. Okay?
I haven't finished
Yeah,
yet.
and we have a conversation. You don't fling your cutlery around. That is not acceptable at all.
So, Rukshana, how are you today? You can't do that, eh?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
I want you to taste something. I want to see your face. I
Okay.
want to see your expression.
Okay.
When we taste this, actually exquisite. It's an acquired taste. It's an 85% dark chocolate.
So it's like pure cocoa.
This is as pure as it
Okay.
gets. There you go.
You fine dark.
No, never.
Oh, never? Oh.
Never.
Sorry. Okay, yes. How do we do this?
Chocolate is very, very fine. You always look at it. It's perfect. The sheen is beautiful. You smell it.
I can really smell it, huh?
And you smell it. And then you crack it in your ear.
Oh, like this.
And the snap is perfect. It's a crisp snap. After it's crispy, you look at it.
From inside.
You feel it. It's fine and smooth. There are absolutely no rough edges. It's a perfect snap. This is a really, really fine product. And then,
finally, can I eat it now?
slowly, let it melt. Please let it coat your palate. Let the aroma come out. This is as good as it gets.
Wonderful. This was really, really nice. Rich, dark, and
handsome.
Yeah, handsome. Handsome.
What is soup actually? Tell me that. How do you get the word soup?
Now you've set me thinking, okay? I give up. Some slurp.
Some. Can I have some?
I'm going to the next time we go to a restaurant. Could I have a tomato, please?
Exactly. That's what it is.
Well, that brings us to the end of this trip down memory lane 2006. You must admit, we had a great time. We met some great people, of course, eaten some great food, and seen some really, really nice places. And I promise you that when we come back in 2007, we are going to go to many more places and eat much, much, much more food, which means I'm going to be completely out of shape by 2008. Okay, that brings us to the end of this episode. I want to wish everybody at home, everybody who's watching the show, all my fans, a great new year. Have a great season, have a great life, best of luck, and let's party with the foodie.